as in managing the scale and complexity of IoT networks. With me in studio is Mrs. Philomena Eigwe, and she will be doing justice to this topic, explaining the complexities, the everything about this topic, and she will provide solutions on how to manage this. Madam, you're welcome to the webinar for the moment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so honored to have you.
It's my pleasure.
All right, thank you for being here. And viewers, please, if you have questions, contributions to make regarding the topic we're discussing, feel free to drop them in our chat section. And we will solicit that you visit our social media handle. We are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, and we are on X. For further inquiries, please, you can visit our website, www.zoracom.com. Now, back to our main business today, managing the complexity and scale of IoT networks. Madam, before we start, I need you to explain 3 terms for me and the viewers. And these terms are IoT device, IoT network, and IoT network management. Explain these terms for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Uzochi.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me to join you today. Okay, so let's quickly dive in. Okay, the word IoT devices or IoT itself is the short form for Internet of Things. So people usually call it IoT, but it's the same as Internet of Things. So it's these devices are physical objects that are embedded with sensors. It's embedded with software and internet connectivity, and that enables them to collect and exchange data. They come in various forms, from smart thermostats to wearables, to even industrial sensors and autonomous vehicles like the Tesla car that you know about. Wearables like your smartwatch, and even smart city devices. All these are various forms of IoT devices. I don't know if some of us have smartwatches.
Yes, I have one.
So please, if you do, kindly drop the function on the chat session, what it does for you. Let us know. I just want us to make it more interactive.
Okay.
So now, the idea behind the Internet of Things is that it's able to sense, it's able to collect and transmit data. It's able to analyze data and distribute data in order for people, you and I, or machine to process information or get the knowledge that are required. So far, that's your smartwatch. For it to perform that function that you just dropped on the chat section, is because it has these characteristics that I just mentioned, which is sensor equipped for data collection, connectivity and capability, which can be via Wi-Fi, cellular networks, or other wireless protocol. It also has the ability to transmit data to either a centralized system or other devices. So that's for IoT devices. Now, moving on to IoT network. IoT network is a complex and interconnected system of physical devices, sensors, and even smart objects. You can say it is the communication infrastructure that allows IoT devices to send and receive data over the internet or maybe private network. So like I said, like your smartwatch that you have, and it connects to, let's say, a Wi-Fi or maybe a Bluetooth. It then sync with your phone. Yeah, so that connectivity is what we call the network, yes, the IoT network. Same with smart city networks. It links traffic cameras, street lights, and sensors to improve their traffic flow. So IoT networks, they rely on a combination of both wired and wireless communication technology, which can include Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 5G, just to ensure efficient connectivity across those devices. Now, moving on to IoT network management, which is one of the main points that we are going to discuss today. It involves monitoring, total monitoring of your IoT infrastructure, It involves optimizing it and securing your IoT device and those the communication network to ensure smooth operations. So, and also this IoT network management ensures the reliability, the scalability of your network, the security of your network, and performance of this your IoT infrastructure.
All right. Thank you so much for explaining those 3 times. Now you know what IoT networks are. Devices embedded with sensors.
Yes.
And must have capability to connect.
Yes.
Must have capability to transmit data.
While
the network is the communication channel or infrastructure. And network management has to do with protocols, processes that helps to manage
the entire network. Yes.
Thank you. Now, the topic we are discussing, managing scale and complexity. So what is scale in IoT and what constitutes complexity in IoT network?
Okay, when we say scaling, it means when something is growing rapidly. So in terms of IoT, scaling refers to the ability of an IoT network to accommodate a growing number of connected devices, to accommodate users and data streams without degrading their performances, without disrupting their security. So that's what we mean by scaling. You know, scaling, it can range from small scale deployment to large scale industrial system. So as this network expands, they become more intricate, more complex, which then require an advanced network management for them to work efficiently. Now, there are so many things that contribute to the complexity of infrastructure, of IoT infrastructure. One, we have diverse network infrastructure. We also have heterogeneous devices and protocols. You know, different devices operate on various communication protocols. It can be MQT, COAP, Bluetooth, or 5G. So these different devices operate on various communication, and that can make it more complex for people to handle. We also have security and privacy management. More devices are equal to higher risk of cyber attacks. When you have so many devices that you want to tend to manage, it might become more complex for enterprises to manage, because more devices are always equal to higher risk of cyber attacks. Using older infrastructure, definitely it will draw you back. Definitely your infrastructure are going to be very more complex for you to handle. Okay, and I can hear some persons might say, you know, I've been using this, you know, my infrastructure I've been using it for over 33 years for some time. There's no issue. You understand? So if you've not tested, you know, the recent technology, yes, you won't know how good it is. So it makes it complex when you are using your older infrastructure. So all this that I just mentioned contributes to the complexity of IoT infrastructure.
Thank you so much. So what you are in a sense saying is scale equals complexity. As the network grows, the complexity increases. Thank you, Madam, for explaining those terms. And viewers, want to remind you quickly, if you have questions and you have contributions, do not hesitate to drop them in the chat section. And I'll probably solicit that you visit our social media handles. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and on X. Madam, now you have enumerated the complexity, how it affects network performance. Now, what are the challenges this complexity, this scaling brings to organizations who are implementing IoT network? Okay,
there are so many challenges that are involved because IoT keep growing every day. As IoT grows, billions of devices need to be monitored and updated and maintained. So, and this can be overwhelming for most organizations. So they face, you know, device proliferation and management issues. So organizations struggle with, they might struggle with onboarding, with monitoring, and even maintaining them efficiently. Why? Because they have billions of devices.
Yeah, if I may cut in there, you talked about device proliferation. That means adding devices. Yes, okay. Now, how can an enterprise, let's just say an estate, a smart estate, how can they manage that?
What they need to do, they need to implement a robust IoT management platform.
Oh, okay.
Yes, with automation and a centralized control to monitor those their infrastructure, even if they are in different locations.
Okay, so
they need good monitoring systems.
This tool will give them visibility.
Yes.
All right. So what are the other challenges?
Other challenges, we have data overload and analytics. As IoT devices, as they generate, massive amounts of data, it can be difficult for organization to process, analyze information in real time. So they need to, utilize AI-driven analytics to process their data, in order for them to reduce their network congestion. For example, a factory using an IoT sensor to monitor their machine performance, they might struggle to process millions of data if it's not well managed. So another challenge is security and privacy risk. That's one of the major challenges that IoT infrastructure, are facing on a daily basis. Enterprises are facing it on a daily basis because most times IoT infrastructure, they are usually exposed to threats.
Yes, like one of my friends I've experienced that is staying in one of these estates that are sensor driven.
Yes.
Now he was locked out from his apartment.
Wow.
Because somebody has access. I don't know what configuration happened. So how can an estate manager manage this?
Okay, so now they need to enforce strong security policy. Strong security policy, a strong security solution to be able to monitor their entire infrastructure. They need to use end-to-end encryption. The IT guys will understand this. They need to deploy a network segmentation, for them to be able to overcome these threats. They need good sensor monitoring system, a solution to help them detect if there's any intrusion.
Okay. Yes. Are there other challenges?
Yes, we have interoperability and standardization. Different devices, they use, various protocols like I mentioned before, which then cause integration issues. A solution from another manufacturer, another vendors. Bringing those infrastructure together, you can face challenges. So if you don't have a good IoT management system, it will disrupt your entire infrastructure.
All right.
So that's
all right. Thank you for enumerating these challenges. Throughout your discussion, you have been mentioning good IoT management, good IoT solution.
Yes.
So what good IoT, let me borrow your word, solution do you have in mind that can solve this challenge? Okay,
now before I mention this solution, in all these challenges that I just mentioned, they can be addressed with an efficient infrastructure solution.
Like?
Which I'm going to mention, which is Zoracom's Zmart solution.
Okay.
Now, this Zmart solution has a centralized monitoring system. It has automated provisioning and updates. It's AI powered, and it also has IoT security and threat protection. Now, all these things that I just mentioned, if the Zmart solution has all this embedded in it, which can help you manage all these challenges that I just mentioned.
Okay. So now, can you tell me more about this Zmart solution?
Yes, the Zmart solution is a monitoring and management solution.
Oh.
Yes, it's a comprehensive IoT management and security platform that are designed for businesses, for enterprises, for industry, smart city, to have their network connection, for their network to connect seamlessly without having issue. Okay, for their network to be secured, and it's also there to optimize their IoT infrastructure. Now, also, this Zmart solution can be used in different industries.
Okay.
It can be used in different enterprise, not just IT industry. You can use it, the retailers can use it, maybe for the supervision of cash registry, for video cameras, free system, access system, and facility management, and even transport company to monitor their transportations. You know, even utility companies, security companies can also make use of this Zmart solution. It's not just for IT use. Almost every industry or enterprise can make use of this solution. Why? Because it can detect unauthorized access to city infrastructure. Then those network issue that I just mentioned, network challenges whereby infrastructure from another industry, infrastructure from another manufacturer, you know, when you have challenges of bringing them together, with Zmart solution, it will make it reachable across different network. You won't have any issues of, you know, network connectivity, network not being able to connect. So also, the Zmart solution protects IoT system by automating security policy, conducting vulnerability checks all the time, and tracking unauthorized changes. If there's any changes, if there's any intrusion, it will detect it and inform you, so you can make a business decision. So those are what the Zmart solution can do for you.
This solution is robust.
Yes, very robust.
To say the value that the solution can provide. Now, madam, you know, business enterprise is all about reducing cost, improving revenue. Now, if someone comes to Zora Communications and wants to invest in their solution, what assurance are you giving the investor about their return on investment? How will Zmart solution improve their revenue?
Okay, first of all, Zmart.
For example, maybe if you can get my question clear, an estate, a smart estate comes to approach Zoracom. I love this your presentation. I want to subscribe to this Zmart solution. How is Zmart going to improve their revenue?
Yes. You know, an efficient IoT management leads to what? It leads to cost savings.
How?
If you have fewer network failures, it's going to be equal to more productivity, more efficiency of your network when you have fewer network failures. So if an enterprise can detect a machine failures before it happens, that will definitely reduce their, let's say, costly repairs.
Yes.
And that's what Zmart does. Zmart helps organizations to maximize their ROI by streamlining their network operation, reducing failures, and ensuring that regulatory compliance are met, which is one of the most important things for IT infrastructure. So they ensure that regulatory compliance are met.
Thank you. So meaning that you are assuring our viewers and investors that they will have a value when they subscribe to Zmart. Okay, just hold on. Let's look whether we have some questions on the chat box.
Okay.
All right. Somebody is asking, how can the use of IoT devices improve the performance of FTTH engineers in the field?
Come again?
How can the use of IoT devices improve the performance of FTTH engineers in the field? That's these engineers that connect fiber lines to the home.
Okay.
How can Zmart be applicable there?
Yes, Zmart can be applicable in the sense that if you have a good centralized monitoring system, which will let you know, will inform you what is happening in the field. You know, if you have different engineers in, you know, in different fields, different locations, if you have good, you know, monitoring system, you'll be able to tell if they are performing well, if everything is going on well. So definitely Zmart can also be used in that very aspect.
Oh, thank you so much. Another question goes this way: how does predictive maintenance improve the reliability of IoT networks? Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
How does Zmart maintenance help improve the reliability of IoT networks?
Okay, now the word predictive maintenance, it uses predictive maintenance itself uses AI and analytics to detect potential failures before they happen. Okay. So this reduces unexpected downtime, lowers maintenance costs, and extends the lifespan of IoT devices. Now, this is what Zmart does. Zmart incorporates this predictive algorithm to ensure proactive maintenance and minimal disruptions.
Oh, thank you. I hope the inquiries, they are satisfied with the answers you have given. I have one last question to ask, but because of our time. But before I do that, please, viewers who want to solicit that you visit our social media handle, Facebook, LinkedIn, and the X. We equally appreciate that you people are equally here with us, listening to the explanation that Madam is giving in regards to the topic we are discussing. Okay. One more last question, and this question is based on my personal experience anyway. You know, when I was a function I went to, yes, and the one distinguished guest was asking a sales lady that this your product you have pitched to me, is it owned by a Nigerian company or is it a foreign product that you are advertising? So I want to ask the same question to you. This Zmart, because I know that some Nigerian companies, they partner with foreign companies, they just resell their product.
Yes.
This Zmart, powered by Zoracom, is it a property of Zoracom, or are they reselling for another company? Because most people will be skeptical to do business with you if they are not Nigerian, it's not a Nigerian product. So, what do you say?
The Zmart solution is owned by Zoracom. Wow. Yeah, it's owned by Zoracom. Zoracom is a Nigerian company, and it's owned by also every organization from different locations, whether in outside the country, we can make use of this solution. So it's our own solution. Oh. Yeah, it was designed for to empower businesses, to empower infrastructure to scale well.
Yes. I know you might be surprised with the question, because that day the man said he doesn't patronize any solution pitched by Nigerian that is not owned by a Nigerian. So that's what I'm asking. And you know how economy is now, everybody wants to reduce costs. So you ask the solution, the solution is owned by a Zora Communication, a Nigerian company. So don't bother about exchange rates. You can collect naira, right?
Of course.
So you reach out to Zora Communication on their website, www.zoracom.com, and if you have more inquiries. So we have one more question. And out of the questions on the chat box, I want to pick only one. I say, what are the measures in place to prevent unauthorized access and cyber attacks?
Okay, we have a solution called the Fortrex. Fortrex solution is still owned by Zoracom. Oh, yes, communication.
Okay.
Yes.
You are talking about that if that person wants full-blown cyber security.
Yes.
We have another solution.
Yeah, we have another solution. If you want a full-blown
cyber security solution.
Yeah, it's for cyber security. The solution protects your digital footprint. It protects every of your infrastructure. So if you want that, you can send us a message, and we have our customer support team to respond to you.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Prosper, I've seen what the answer she has given. If you want a full-blown cybersecurity solution, Zora Communication will offer you that. But when it comes to sensor,
Zmart.
Yes, and Zmart has the capability to prevent unauthorized access.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Any other question? Okay, I think we have taken all the questions that dropped on the chat box. All right, madam, there is no more question for us to ask you from the chat box. Thank you for gracing us this month with your presence, and thank you for expatiating on the topic, managing the scale and complexity of IoT networks. We have been educated what IoT networks are, what IoT devices are, how to manage them. You only offer solution Yes, a tool that can help enterprises, even government. How do you say that?
Yes,
That
of
means
course.
a security agency can use it too.
Of course.
Yes, okay, because some security officers, they have cameras on their chest. They think that they don't know that somebody is looking at it.
Yes.
All right, they can subscribe to it too.
Yes.
All right, thank you, madam. And here comes to the end of our webinar for this month. Please stay with us next month too. We have another interesting topic we're going to discuss by another guest, and we have another solution powered by Zoracom that we are going to sell too. Thank you, and madam, thank you for coming. See you next month. Thank you, viewers, and bye-bye.
Thank you.